When two security guards are transferring money in a cash truck, a group of people dressed as construction workers stop them with a signboard. As soon as the truck halts, the workers reveal weapons and explosives, robbing the truck and ruthlessly killing the two guards along with a civilian. Following this horrifying incident, Fordico Security endeavors to enhance its security measures. 5 months later, a new recruit, Patrick Hill, joins as a security guard. His new boss, Terry, briefs him on the tragedy and the fact that no one has been apprehended for the crime. Terry warns Patrick to stay focused. Patrick undergoes training, barely passing the bullet test, showcasing skills. Bullet introduces H to colleagues. Boy Sweat and Dana are skeptical but impressed. Sticky John replaces Mage, treating H as a rookie. Bullet, H, and Boy Sweat embark on collection rides. Before the ride, Bullet warns H about being the prey. Boy Sweat reveals dodging trouble 5 months ago. H joins Bullet for a flawless bank collection, returning safely. After work, guards place IDs on a board, then head for beer and pool. Bullet invites H, who takes a minute to secretly check colleagues' IDs. During the pool game, Sticky John is provoked into confronting H. H swiftly puts him down, hands him money for a beer, and leaves quietly. Bullet mockingly calls H a social magician. During a collection ride, Bullet goes alone for a $10,000 pickup. When Boy Sweat hears Bullet being taken by robbers, he panics. Boy Sweat urges H to leave with $2.5 million, thinking the robbers will release Bullet for a small sum. H insists on rescuing Bullet only, giving Boy Sweat the choice to leave. Despite the risk, Boy Sweat stays. They follow the robbers' orders to drive and pull up the truck at a deserted place. One of the masked robbers steps out from a vehicle in front of them, pulling out Bullet, who is bruised and handcuffed. The robber puts a gun to Bullet's head, while another robber on the transceiver instructs them to throw the money into their trunk. Boy Sweat tells H that the robbers will likely kill all 3 of them and escape with the money. However, H tells him to shut up and goes to the back of the truck. He starts throwing the money bags one by one into the flatbed but deliberately misses one, letting it fall onto the floor. The robber warns H against playing games, and Boy Sweat nervously sweats, urging H to follow their orders. When a robber steps out to pick up the bag, H jumps into action, shooting him along with the others, leaving only the one who had been talking to them. H leisurely chases this remaining robber into an abandoned warehouse, leaving Boy Sweat and Bullet perspiring in awe. It doesn't take long for H to catch up and ask the robber who he works for. However, the robber chooses to insult him instead of providing an answer, prompting H to make quick work of him. Boy Sweat and Bullet arrive, shocked at the scene. H masks the faces of dead robbers but doesn't find what he seeks. FBI officers inquired about the incident. They question H's precise shooting given his average test score. H attributes it to a kill or be killed situation. Officers let H watch an old robbery video, seeking connections. H focuses on a pixelated face but concludes it wasn't them. FBI agent King is informed that H is the person they've sought for 25 years, but their boss tells them to stay clear of H following the violent incident. Terry suggests H should stay away from truck duty for a month and attend some sessions with a shrink, following the company protocol. However, neither H nor Fordico's owner, Blake, likes the idea. The boss tells Terry not to punish H but to promote him, as it's good for everyone in terms of publicity. As a result, H goes right back to truck duty, and when he walks inside the depot the next day, he earns the respect of his colleagues. Later, H obtains personal files, including Dana's, and an autopsy report. 3 months after, only Bullet accompanies H in the truck when they encounter robbers. The robbers black out the truck's windows, prompting Bullet to call code red. Using the door handle hole, they gas the robbers, who hastily retreat as soon as H uncovers his face. Terry is astonished by the incident where H again comes out as a savior, but their boss just tells him to keep refreshing it. Bullet also privately tells Boy Sweat the story. Later, Dana confesses her feelings to H, leading to a sleepover. However, H interrogates her at gunpoint about money, suspecting her as an insider. Dana denies it, claiming she stole it on an assignment. H warns against hiding information. 5 months earlier, H, with his son Doug, receives a call from his assistant, Mike, who was once a robber that H thwarted during a heist. Mike asks Doug for a small job near H's location. Observe a Fordico truck and report if it turns left or right. H reluctantly agrees, but on the drive, he lies to Doug, claiming hunger, and orders burritos from a food truck. This sparks a series of attacks on Fordico trucks as H seeks revenge for his son. Despite FBI agent King warning H to stop, he remains relentless in his pursuit. Within the chaos, H uncovers a hidden link between Fordico Security and the criminal underworld, revealing colleagues involved in illegal activities. Confronting Terry, his boss, H learns about Fordico's corruption and decides to expose the truth. With the remaining crew, he launches a final assault on Fordico's headquarters. The intense confrontation exposes both corrupt guards and criminal masterminds. In a climactic showdown, H confronts the mastermind, unveiling the dark alliance behind his son's death. As justice is served, H finds closure, having avenged his son's death and exposed systemic corruption within the company. On the heist day, the crew executes a flawless plan. Jan, acting as the insider, intercepts a Fordico security truck with military veterans, overpowering the guards and escaping without a trace. Tension rises as Jan, driven by greed, plans to cut ties and contacts a mysterious figure. Meanwhile, H, undercover as Patrick Hill, discovers irregularities in Fordico Security's operations. Investigating further, he connects the recent heist to criminal activities from his past life as a security guard. Internal conflicts escalate with Jan's betrayal apparent among the crew. Unbeknownst to them, H, determined to expose corruption and avenge his son, inches closer to the truth. As the plot thickens, the veterans face threats from within and the relentless pursuit of justice by an undercover H. The stage is set for a final showdown where loyalties are tested, secrets revealed, and justice sought. However, Jan hesitates, a flicker of recognition passing between him and H. Chaos ensues as crew members panic, and a fierce gunfight erupts, with casualties. Jan, realizing the situation is escalating, signals the crew to retreat, leaving the stolen cash behind. As they hastily escape, H tends to Doug's lifeless body, his anguish apparent. Tensions rise post-heist, with Jackson blaming Jan and accusations flying. Unbeknownst to the crew, H intensifies his investigation, risking exposure. The mysterious insider takes action, setting the stage for a climactic confrontation, shattering alliances, exposing secrets, and seeking justice in the shadowy world of cash truck heists. The tension builds as Jackson's crew prepares for the audacious heist on Black Friday, targeting not just one cash truck but the entire fleet at the Fordico depot. The stakes are higher than ever, with the potential bounty reaching an unprecedented $150 million. As Black Friday approaches, Fordico Security is on high alert. Terry briefs the guards on the enhanced security measures, creating a tense atmosphere at the depot. The crew, driven by the promise of financial security, prepares for the ambitious heist under Jackson's guidance. Despite Jan's internal conflict due to a past tragedy, the group is determined. On Black Friday, the Fordico depot buzzes with activity. Disguised as workers, the crew blends into the chaotic shopping frenzy, awaiting the opportune moment to strike and seize millions from the fleet of cash trucks. Unbeknownst to the crew, H, having recovered from his previous encounter, has been meticulously tracking their movements. The insider, sensing the impending threat, decides to take preemptive action. The stage is set for a high-stakes showdown, where loyalties will be tested, and the outcome will determine the fate of the elusive cash truck heist crew. Tensions peak as Jackson's crew, including Bullet, plans a daring heist on Black Friday. Bullet shocks H, revealing he was the insider from a previous robbery. Bullet discloses the crew's plan, urging H to cooperate as they head to a warehouse to join the heavily armored crew. Inside the cash truck, tensions rise as Jackson's men, geared up in bulletproof armor, conduct a thorough search. Jan and 3 others enter the truck, while Jackson and a companion follow in a separate vehicle. The crew strategically takes control of the parking area, capturing Terry, Boy Sweat, H, and even Bullet as hostages. Dana infiltrates a cash truck, deceiving guard Stuart with a fake signature request. Inside, she lures Stuart in with the promise of a funny video. Simultaneously, H and Bullet are bound, guns to their heads, while the crew demands cooperation from Fordico staff to open the vault's metal door. The heist is underway, and the hostages are at the mercy of Jackson's crew. In the midst of the chaotic heist, Sticky John reacts swiftly by activating the warning siren, alerting the Fordico staff and triggering a counteroffensive. Fordico guards, armed and ready, engage the robbers in a fierce battle. One of the robbers strategically places an explosive at the metal door, escalating the conflict. Clad in fortified armor, the robbers withstand the intense firefight, breaching the metal gate to seize control of the depot. The alarm triggers a police response, and as the SWAT team races to the scene, the crew efficiently transfers stolen cash. In a specially equipped vehicle, they neutralize Fordico guards, leaving Dana, Stuart, and Shirley at the cash truck's rear. With the clock ticking, they contemplate their next move, intensifying the heist suspense. H capitalizes on the chaos erupting within the cash truck. Seizing a moment of distraction caused by Shirley's gunfire, H skillfully shoots one of the robbers in the foot with the robber's own weapon. With swift precision, he proceeds to incapacitate the distracted assailant, employing a combination of close-quarters combat and a knife. H then swiftly frees himself, Terry, and Boy Sweat from their restraints. Boy Sweat, fueled by adrenaline and seeking to confront the robbers, attempts to follow H. However, Terry, prioritizing their safety, intervenes and guides Boy Sweat toward a safer exit through the back door. In the process, Shirley gets hit by enemy fire, intensifying the perilous situation. Dana and Stuart, determined to fight back, arm themselves with guns salvaged from the chaos. Meanwhile, H approaches another robber, compelling him to remove his helmet before delivering a decisive shot. The remaining robbers, alerted to H's actions, swiftly engage the Fordico guards. In the midst of the firefight, Boy Sweat takes a body shot to his bulletproof vest, momentarily halting his advance. Another robber, identified as Fire Robber, engages in a scuffle with H, leading to a tense exchange of blows. The confrontation escalates until H manages to subdue Fire Robber, utilizing a well-timed shot with an empty gun and the knife on the robber's armor. Amidst the chaos and gunfire, H removes his helmet, revealing his determination to confront the remaining threats. Unyielding, he joins the fight against the robbers, opting to follow through on this perilous path. Meanwhile, Jackson issues orders to his surviving crew members to evacuate with the stolen cash. In a ruthless betrayal, Bullet turns on Dana and Stuart, shooting them down. H retaliates, eliminating 2 more robbers, and Bullet unexpectedly guns down Boy Sweat. Jackson, Jan, and Bullet become the sole survivors, escaping in a cash truck. Severely injured, Jackson bleeds profusely. At a planned escape point, they transfer money bags onto a carrier for the elevator. The dynamics shift as Jackson, vulnerable, stays in the truck, anticipating Jan's threat. Detecting Jan's treachery, Jackson takes matters into his own hands, silently eliminating Jan. Witnessing this, Bullet learns that Jackson succumbs to his injuries. In the dark and clandestine tunnels, Jan and H embark on a high-speed escape using 4-wheeled bikes, heading toward a getaway car parked at the tunnel's other end. Bullet's attempt to execute Jackson's failed plan meets a swift demise as Jan shoots him in the head. Jan proceeds to his destination with the stolen money bags. Celebrating with a drink, he's interrupted by a ringing phone within the ill-gotten gains. H, not seeking a share, confronts Jan with a revelation: the autopsy report of H's deceased son. Jan reads the grim details, realizing the devastating impact of his past actions. The tables turn as Jan comprehends H's face from the robbery scene. In a chilling act of retribution, H inflicts upon Jan the same pain his son endured, hitting vital organs: liver, lungs, spleen, and heart. Limping with injuries, H makes his way out, and as FBI agent King approaches him, asking if he is done, H simply responds, "We're done."